Okay, Sir Ronald, medyo napatagal tayo ng konti kasi yung Harry Rocky episode natin, I needed 15 minutes to dilute the conversation because medyo yung legal team po natin dyan, nakatayo na lahat, nagdo-notes.
Hindi naman ako yung nagsimula nung manhunt
Sir,
scenario.
hindi rin ako nagsimula ng X-Men conversation. Alam mo yung X-Men mo yung mas nakokode dito. Sir, di pa rin ako nakarecover sa X-Men.
Oo. Hindi ko naman
Favorite ko
talaga yung
yun.
X-Men talagang kwan yun
Marvels.
qualitative leap to
Oo. In fairness.
evolutionary di ba? Qualitative leap talaga yung X-Men eh.
Sir, feeling ko kung nag-stand-up comedian tayo yung tatawa sa sarili natin after 2 minutes na poker face. Or kung ako nandun, tatawa ko sa'yo, tapos ikaw tatawa sa akin. Alam mo, ganito kasi ginagawa niyo. Nagkagalan tayo.
Oo, kaya nga binabalatan tayo ng mga academician, di
Ayun.
naman tayo analyst.
Oo.
No? Totoo
Ay,
naman, hindi naman talaga tayo analyst. Tayo ay mga nagpapanggap lamang.
mga
Minsan
vlogger tayo, mga vlogger.
minsan
Pero wala naman akong sinasabi. Mas marami lang akong publication sa kanya, pero wala akong sasabihin. Anyway, sorry na lang kung walang nakikinig sa kanila. Actually, Ronald, I know very high-level scholars. Like, nagtuturo sa Harvard and all. They listen to our podcast for their latest updates on Philippine politics. They don't.
Pwede mo naman silang iharap sa akin eh. Yung mga
Eh,
mga Harvard friends mo eh. Pwede mo namang iharap sila sa akin sa debate. No?
Great people.
Hindi
Amazing.
naman tayo kakapusin. Hindi naman tayo
Oh, no,
kakapusin.
no. Sila yung believe sa atin. Yung mga, yung mga sorry. Yung mga walang publications na biglang head of, mga ganon, yun naman yung mga medyo nagpapa-comment sa amin, pero no comment na lang ako. Pero yung mga local lang. Pero yung mga international actually believe sa show natin at saka natin. Di ba last time, I think we were talking to a guest and our guest was talking about, one of them was saying like, isa sa Harvard professors now was like, listening to the show or something like that. But anyway, but I know a number of people who are checking on our stuff and si Berkeley professor Leloy Claudio, number 1 fan na ngayon ni Ronald Llamas. Dati kay siya Idol Rafi, ngayon Idol Ronald siya, di ba? So I'm telling you, if a Berkeley professor is listening to us, for updates, that tells you nag-level up talaga tayo. Lalo ikaw, Sir Ronald, you are the man, the biggest of big R's. Now, balikan natin ito, Sir Ronald.
The smallest R.
No? Smallest R, but with very big heart. Diba? And then, Now, Sir Ronald, medyo kinabahan ako sa episode talaga na my God. Sir Ronald, gusto ko may TV show tayo, kay babe tayo. Mamaya na yung manhunt. Balikan natin ang opposition. So actually, just the other day, hindi naman spoiler alert, pero may Cool Pals episode kami lalabas soon, guys. Kasama ko pa si Harry P, yung nag-impersonate kay Harry, di ba? Kaya the manhunt is over. Actually, nakausap ko sila about sino ang mga pwedeng next vice presidential ball and presidential ball. So obviously, we talked about Risa, Lenny, and Grace po. Given na yung Tulfos, we'll talk about them separately. Ang tingin nila kay Lenny, she'll still be strong and presidential pa rin sa 20. These are comedians, very smart comedians, politically connected. At Ronald, let's aminin natin, mga comedians are very witty and smart, di ba? Minsan mas gets pa nila yung pulso ng tao. Sabi na, si Lenny kasi yung mommy, kung tatay na marahas si Digong, siya yung mommy na maalaga. At yung ganyan, may traction pa rin yan even 4 years, 3 years from now. And almost sure na she'll do well in Naga because Naga is a great place already, di ba? So they still think she's presidential. Grace po, she's already number 1 in the pulsation survey by far. I think 40% siya in some of the surveys I've seen. So her only challenge is just to keep the momentum once she steps down from Senate next year. So yun lang, how to keep relevant and all. And then kay Risa, we had a 25 minutes conversation. Essentially, ginawa kong focus group discussion, lahat ng mga magagaling na comedians in the room. How do you make Risa more relatable or palatable come 2028? And interestingly, we look at some case studies, not similar, but interesting. So we look at the Miriam Defensor case study, and you correct me if I'm wrong, no? Sabi nila, si Miriam Defensor nung 90s, di ba, nung tumakbo pa siyang presidente, namuntik nanalo, or actually nanalo, no offense kay FBR, parang baliw-baliw lang ang tingin sa kanya, di ba? But eventually, she embraced that in a self-deprecating way. And then it became a brand, di ba? Tapos yung libro niya, di ba? Stupid is Forever.
Yes.
It's one of the best-selling Filipino.
Yan yung lecture ko kanina sa labor. Kanina sa
diba?
Ciudad.
So she, inangkin niya.
With Miriam.
jiu-jitsu niya, di ba? So inangkin niya, and then
Oh.
she's a weird combination of yung probinsyana, and then matalino, and then balahura, and then self-deprecating. It kind of worked, and she
Yeah.
became an icon. So I
Parang
asked her
erap.
about
Parang erap jokes.
But Erap already had that FPJ, ano, di ba, connection, which actually helped him, and FPJ really won in 2004. Sorry na lang kay Tita Arroyo. So so my argument was this. I understand, and Ronald, you correct me. The criticism I hear of Risa is she's a bit too stiff. She's not funny enough and spontaneous enough. Masyado siyang, I don't want to use the word perfect, pero parang masyadong maayos magsalita, maayos lahat. Para daw siyang strict na principal ng school. Na you would respect and all of that. Pero parang you rather spend time with Lenny or with someone else na mas mommy or mas nakakatuwa or ganun. So medyo stiff daw. Para sabi ko, diba, she has come a long way from the first time nang tumakbo na parang aktivista lang tingin sa kanya, it didn't work. And then now she's a little bit funnier. So sabi ko sa inyo, if Miriam Defensor could do that rebranding, maybe Risa could also do that rebranding. Pero anong mga kailangan doon, di ba? Aside from the fact na siguro medyo, hindi na siya magganyan ng mga Filipiniana sa mga scene. Ikaw, what do you think about that rebranding thing? Ang ganda ng discussion, I think comedians are very smart people to talk to on these issues. Branding and relatability,
Well, mahalaga yung brand, no? Lalo na sa panahon natin ng postmodern social media type na mundo, no? Pero siyempre, yung branding dapat hindi masyadong malayo dun sa personality ng kandidato.
Yung digression factor, yeah, that's a good point.
Yun yung isang ikalawa, siguro kung branding, mas malapit siguro in terms of parallelism kay Lenny, no? Si Risa. Because si Risa, 4 yung kanyang anak, no? Nanay din siya. Nanay siya. Kaya mas malapit dun sa ganung klaseng narrative, no? Nanay, no? Na ma-develop. No? At kailangan lang i-desisyonan nila sino ba talaga ang kandidato? Si Risa o si Lenny? Dahil dapat iwasan na yung nangyari last time na napaka-iksi ng runway. Dahil nag-decision si Lenny practically during the time of the filing of candidacy. Ngayon, meron kang 3 years and 8 months. No? Dapat mapagpasyahan yan within that time span, halimbawa at least 3 years, para mas makapaghanda ng mas mahaba. Dahil if you're running for the highest position in government, then mahaba-haba ang preparasyon yan. No? Maraming kwan yan maraming requirements, maraming preparations, no? Maraming moving parts. Kaya hindi pwede na maiksi yung runway. Kailangan mahaba. At yun yung edge nila ngayon. Pero they have to decide sino ba talaga. No? Dahil,
but Ronald, I'm skeptical that will happen, no? I think it's more like let's see na lang who will do better in surveys.
well,
And
siyempre titingnan dyan mga surveys.
and
Pero
I
yung
think Lenny
surveys,
will still come on top, to be
pero
honest.
yung surveys kasi can be shaped by a decision. The surveys can be shaped by a political decision and a political strategy. No? Because surveys doesn't operate in a vacuum.
Yeah, and,
No?
and it's a snapshot.
Magiging bahagi ng strategy mo is how to shape the surveys. If there is a decision earlier. No?
Ako kasi ang point ko is,
wag mo kalimutan nung nagsimula si Lenny, nasa
3%
din siya.
lang siya. I understand, Ronald. Pero ang point ko kasi ganito, I know, I'm all with that argument. The Lenny started 3%, she became 15%, then 20%. I get it. Ang concern ko dito is one very likely scenario is unless Riza really makes a big jump in the surveys, many will insist on Lenny. As we speak, there are many people saying press Lenny 2028. Lenny pa rin 2028. I mean, I'm seeing this live coming in. Ang dami pa rin na Lenny pa rin sa kanila. At most, they only see Riza for VP. And that's a weird situation because I want to talk about Tulfos. When I raised the possibility of a Rafi, Tulfo-Risa, Ontiveros, R&R din, di ba? Rafi and Risa, di ba? Dami natuwa. Like, okay, that looks like a magic combination. Each of them brings something to the table and balance each other out. Yung isa matapang, yung isa malumanay, yung isa siga, yung isa decente na straight to the point, both matapang, both magaling, mga ganyan.
Value added sila sa isa't isa.
Exactly. Each of them brings something to the table. But if Lenny is still in the mix for the presidency, or if Rafi could be bullied by, or convinced by Romualdez not to run, diba? Like I said, I'm hearing even some would say maybe Romualdez will still force the point. And they will just use the machinery. Good luck na lang. Let's see what will happen back then, down the road. But you get what I'm saying? For me, kasi Riza really has to do really some big moves in the next year or so para yung mga tingin nila Lenny lang dapat, will have second thoughts and may openly may support an R&R combination, or even better, if Riza herself runs for the presidency, if she can be the 8 to 10% range, no? Because now she's like what, 1%? So there's a lot of room for improvement. She's making a lot of good noise in a good way, meaning, she's showing her credibility and all. Pero yun nga Ronald, I don't think nangyayari yung advice natin. I don't think nakikinig yung iba dyan. I think there are people who think Riza hanggang VP lang yan at most, but that will create some problem. What if R&R is the way forward? A Rafi Riza. I know this is controversial and maraming magalit sa atin, but I think that's the best team as of now to beat Sarah, I don't know, Robin Hood or Sarah, whatever. Now, I won't be surprised. There will be also a push for a graceful Rafi Tulfo. I don't know. You saw that video of Rafi Tulfo nagagalit dun sa nagvi-video sa kanya. Uy, sino ka? Ganun. Tapos bigla sabi ni Grace po, ay, staff ko po yan. Binivideo ka lang. Ay, ganun po, ma'am. Tapos biglang bumait si Rafi and tawanan lahat. Maybe that's spontaneous. Maybe that's, a trailer for 2028. Grace for Rafi Tulfo. That's a very strong combination, Po. And so I'm just saying, the field is, getting very competitive and all of that. So I think Riza really has to keep on constantly leveling up. So I completely agree with what you say. You cannot rebrand na totally alis dun sa core mo. So Marojas cannot be Masa. Let's just be honest. It's not gonna work. The same way, Ronald Llamas cannot be, I don't know, JF Kennedy, right? Like, no offense to you, Ronald, or JF Kennedy. There's a limitation to how much you can stretch this, right? BBM is not gonna be Macron.
Pwede ako maging Trump.
Pwede ka mag-Trump, pwede ka Bernie, pwede ka rin. Speaking of Trump,
they're eating your pets.
They're cats, they're dogs, they're cats. Uy, Ronald, sobrang saktong analysis natin, no? So literally, the latest survey of New York Times shows what we said. It barely moved the needle. As in, literally what we said. That she, and exactly we said, she was weak in convincing the swing voters on immigration and economy. Isn't that what the two of us said? I said, hindi naman audience ni Kamala tayo eh. Ang audience ni Kamala, yung mga medyo Republican or medyo leaning sa kabila, na ayaw rin kay Trump, pero they don't like Democrats. And I don't... So actually, we were proven right. Exactly. I can send you the link to the New York Times report.
Padala mo.
We were proven right. Literally, they said what we were saying.
Hindi kasi tayo mga political analyst eh.
Ano tayo, operator? Ano tayo? Madam Auring?
Mga manghuhula. Mga manghuhula tayo eh. Minsan tama-tama yung hula.
Saka minsan sulsul din tayo. Sulsul tayo. Uy, na-accuse tayo na media tayo? Opinion manipulators daw tayo. Tayo daw ang nagsishape ng opinion. Kaya tuloy wala na nakikinig sa atin.
May narinig ako, mga kwan daw tayo, sensationalizers eh.
Well, I mean, I cannot deny that. Pero sensationalizer
parang compliment yun.
Kasi sensational tayo, Ronald.
We can do that, no?
Yeah. I mean, saan ka ba makahanap ng mga political analysts pag lumabas tawanan ng mga tao? You find me another political analyst, when they come out, people are laughing. It's just us. I mean, may nagpasend sa akin ng mga ginawa nila ako ng cartoon na tumatawa ako na ganyan-ganyan. Like, find me any other political scientist or academic. Find me a Secretary of Political Affairs. Si Tolentino ba ginaganon sa Ronald? Yung fandom mo, may ganon ba si Tolentino?
No comment.
So, sino bang version, Lagdameo bang version mo ngayon sino ba ngayon?
Wala nga, vacant nga eh, position.
Diba? Wala, ikaw lang kilala kong political affairs secretary na may 0.6% may movement, may kilusan na. May chapter ka na sa Caloocan, sa Baguio, sa Siargao.
Saka dinideconstruct yung X-Men.
May quotable quote ka, di ba? At binibigyan ng mali siya yung mga sinasabi natin sa Ronald, di ba? Tayo lang yatang mga may kailangan ng complete legal team na political analyst, delikado.
Tama na. Baka sabihin nila, sobrang tayong believe sa mga sarili.
Hindi naman tayo believe. Kaya nga sinisundan ko lang yung mga comedian, self-deprecating tayo, sir. Sarcastic tayo sa sarili natin. Now, but going back to this, Sir Ronald, yun yung nakikita kong medyo dilemma. But now, Tulfos also have a dilemma, right? An embarrassment of riches. It's very likely that Ben and Erwin be number 1 and number 2. Hindi ba kaya biglang maging muddied yung water kung T3? Tatlong Tulfo ang gulo nun, di ba? Mang-away yan for airtime. I mean, there's just so much attention that can go to one Senate, right?
Well, well, almost unstoppable yung mga Tulfo, eh. Walang partido, walang makinarya, no? Yung resources nila meron pero hindi gano'n kalaki kumpara sa mga Taipans, no? Pero almost unstoppable sila, eh. 'Di ba? Number one, number two, tapos yung incumbent ay nanalo as number two. Practically walang partido. So, it's the brand, eh. It's the brand. Ang pwede lang gamitin ng mga kalaban nila ay kung sila ay mahahati. If they will be fighting each other. Pero ang tingin ko alam na nila yon kaya they won't give their enemies that benefit. That benefit.
Shrewd to. Shrewd ang mga Tulfos, no?
Yeah.
Napansin ko. In fairness, they're politically shrewd. Hindi ko sinasabi yan kasi kausap nila yung mga katulad mo. Na. Ayan na. Ayan naman tayo sa Ronald. No. I mean, out of respect. No, Ronald, I'll tell you what. I think marami rin makingkit sa atin kasi they know the people who matter actually listen to us. And I'm not saying it as a point of yamang. It's because they tell that to me. Oy, ang magandang ano niya, ni Ronald, yung mga ganun. So, you know, I mean, but it is what it is, Sir Ronald. No? It is what it is, Sir. I mean, okay, maybe I'm being a bit emotional, but Sir Ronald, obviously we're taking risk by doing this, diba? Hindi lang risk na marami tayong kalaban, but risk of also looking like fools, right? Because we're making some big claims and statements here, but diba, this is our responsibility, Ronald. No, I mean, to be serious. I mean, you are doing this as a public intellectual, right? Or a public thinker, or at least public, I don't know, activist. Medyo may activism yung ginagawa natin, di ba?
Of course. Pero 90% I'm just trying to have fun.
At the expense of your lawyers and me, I and me.
I get a perverse pleasure in insulting others.
So, last point. Pwede ka na magpahinga bago yung perversity na yan ay maging legally problematic. So, Ronald, do you think we might see some big, yung mga talagang surprises? Actually, not surprise. I don't know how to put it. Like mga, like Aimee might not make it in the Senate, Bato might not make it. Yung mga ganun. I mean, I can only think of Bongo as sigurado sa DDS camp, no? And it's very possible the DLG secretary won't make it, right? I mean, you can think of many big upsets. Oh, yun ang term. Big upsets in this upcoming Senate, no? At balita ko si Kiko Pangilinan umakyat na sa surveys, He's doing quite fine. I think he's on trajectory.
Yeah. He's within shooting range, no? Nagna-number 14 siya. So, kung yung administrate hindi aayusin yung kanilang kampanya, no, ay may possibility siya na makapasok sa 12, no? Hindi ko alam kung anong ratings ngayon ni Bam.
Well, Bam is stepping up his di ba? Tsaka yung advice ko sa kanya, he has to do more like si Raul Gandhi, di ba? Yung parang i-bring back the name in a good way, in a listening way, So let's see what
the legacy of the Aquinos, no?
Right. And
inalay nila para sa bansa.
Absolutely. And say it in a humble way, hindi yung parinig way.
Kung sakali, magdagdag sila sa slate nila na ang objective is not yet to win, but to attack the last 4 of the other slates, no? At magmarka for 2028.
And actually, ibalik yung yung dangal ng opposition kasi medyo naging naewan na sila, 'di ba? So they have to bring that back. Actually,
pero for now, yung progressive movement ay talagang very fragmented.
Very fragmented,
yung Pink, merong sarili, yung Makabayan Black, merong 11, nag-iwan lang
kasi
sila
sabi ni
ng
Franz
isang slot.
Caso, hindi daw sila inimbita. Sabi ko, ba't di kayo hindi kami inimbita sabi niya.
Tapos yung sila Lyodi at saka si Luke, nag-announce na silang dalawa, separate state. Tapos yung Labor Party, nag-announce na si Sani Matula, plus na dating nasa slate ni Lenny. So makikita mo talagang hiwa-hiwalay. No, hiwa-hiwalay.
That's kind of our fault, 'di ba? Kasi our advice was, it's not about winning, it's about being mamarkaan ka lang. So ngayon, I think everyone is joining, thinking, no, walang loss dito. Ang problema is too many people are listening to our advice. Buti ka, malapit ka nga tumakbo May movement ka na nga mamaya.
Okay, yun yung hindi ko gagawin, hindi ko linya.
This is crazy, no? This is
alam mo naman, as party president ng Akbayan, pwede akong tinulak yung sarili ko as party list nominee. I never did that, no? Dahil hindi na natin linya yun eh.
Tsaka Akbayan is not like that too, right? I mean, let's be honest, it's a legit party. Almost German style in a good way.
Party president ka na, tatakbo ka pa as nominee. Unlike almost all party list.
Or all parties, yeah. For that matter,
siya yung number 1 nominee. Natatawa ako ron.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, this was very good discussion, Ronald. There's more I want to discuss, but I'd rather bring in Mark. Sa Thursday will be with Justice Scorpio.
Oo nga.
We'll have more discussion later on. Si Mark, may good analysis siya kay Chel Joc, no? That I think has a lot to say. Also, of course, we have to ask him about Tondo politics. Medyo madugo din yung Manila politics. My goodness. LGU, kasi wala akong alam masyado eh. I mean, Ronald, I think even you, di ba? Nakikinig lang tayo kay Mark, di ba? He's like the expert on LGU. Even if obviously biased siya kay Isko, di ba? But I think he tries his best to be as fair as possible.
Siya yung fulcrum natin eh.
Yeah, exactly. He's our indigenous informant. Yeah.
Saka siya yung Arneo.
Sa Aneo, don't worry yung mga may clamor daw kay David na si David, ibalik natin si David na balik din natin siya in future. Marami tayong pag-usapan about China. So guys, on Thursday, you will have RRM back with you, God willing, from the studio again around earlier than this time. We'll first have Justice Scorpio. Ang dami natin pag-usapan, including, of course, Harry Roque, but in a more legalistic and respectable way, which I never can get from Sir Ronald Llamas. No X-Men edition, right? No Manhunt. Amazing guy.
No X-Men.
Yeah. And then let's ask Mark to defend Duran because I'm not gonna defend Duran and Mark defend Isko because I'm not gonna defend Isko. So love you, Mark. That's your job. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat, Sir Ronald. See you soon. Thank you so much for making time. I know pagod na pagod ka. I really appreciate it, and let's catch up soon, Sir Ronald. See you soon.
Thursday.
Salamat. Mabuhay ka.